Do you want to know why plecostomuses are awesome? Hi, I'm Mars, and today I'm going to be talking about why plecostomuses or plecos are so cool. I'm genuinely excited about this topic because I love plecos, and I had one growing up that seemingly lived forever. There's a myth out there that says you don't have to feed plecostomuses. Of course, this is very far from the truth. Like any other fish, plecos need to be regularly fed. The pleco I had growing up somehow survived off of algae alone, but that's not the most humane way to treat a pleco. Yes, some plecos can live off of algae alone in a fish tank and not die, but generally speaking, they need to be fed regularly so that way they get enough nutrients in their diet. If you're in a rush, you can feed plecos algae wafers, which sink to the bottom of the fish tank. If you have a little bit more time in your hands, you can feed them zucchini, squash, and also cucumbers. Like algae wafers, veggies should sink to the bottom of the fish tank. If they don't, you can make them, or you can blanch them first, which basically means to boil them for a minute or two before putting them in. I had a pleco more recently only eat algae wafers, so just know that some plecos are pickier than others. Now that we got the feeding myth out of the way, we can talk about what makes plecos truly awesome. Plecos are very hardy fish species that can live several years to decades with the right care and nutrition. Of course, lifespan depends on what species it is and whether or not it's in captivity. Another reason why plecos are awesome is that they take care of the fish tank. A lot of fish hobbyists already know this, but I feel like it's worth mentioning anyway. If you want a clean tank, it's worth getting a pleco, assuming of course you feed it between 1 to 2 times a day, depending on how much food is left over from its previous feeding. Plecos aren't only awesome because they clean your fish tank, they also get along with almost every other fish you put in your tank. Additionally, plecos are very fun to watch. Like any other fish, they have their own likes and dislikes. Another reason why I think plecos are awesome is that it's fun to watch them eat. Plecos have big mouths that suck in algae from their tank. A lot of them like to stick to walls or eat algae off of plants or rocks. I love watching their mouths move as they suck in algae from their surroundings. What makes plecos extra special is the size some of them can get. Plecos are a type of catfish, meaning that some of them can get 24 inches in length. The plecos that reach this length are mostly the common plecos, so don't worry if you have a smaller fish tank. You can still get a bristlenose pleco, for instance. Bristlenose plecos only get to about 4 to 6 inches in length, so they're perfectly safe for 20 to 30 gallon fish tanks. I'm going to tell you another fact about plecos that's going to absolutely blow your mind. Plecos can survive hours at a time out of water. Unlike some other fish, plecos have adapted to survive low oxygen environments and can gulp air when oxygen is low. What else makes them awesome? Let me see. Plecos are covered in armor-like plates instead of normal scales. This gives them protection from predators and also really rough environments. Another underrated fact about plecos is that they're night owls. When the lights go out, the plecos come out. You can go to bed with a fish tank full of algae and wake up with a perfectly clean tank. This is because plecos are mostly active at night. They cruise, explore, and eat during the nighttime. What's interesting is how efficiently they can eat algae. Plecos can eat a lot of algae in a very short window. A fish tank can act as an all-you-can-eat buffet for these little guys. Lastly, what makes them awesome is how long they can live and that they can be part of your family. You can wake up seeing them laying on a rock doing absolutely nothing, and then shortly after seeing them cruise around the sidewalls eating everything in sight. I love watching them suction themselves to the sidewall and then swimming throughout the tank. And by swim, I don't mean swim normally like other fish, I mean going from one wall to the other wall. They can't swim like other fish, it's just typically they don't choose to do that. Here's a clip of one pleco moving throughout the tank. Isn't that cool? I love it, and I hope you do too. So that's why I think plecos are awesome. They're tough, adaptable, and can live long lives with proper care. They're also the most unique and useful fish you can have in a fish tank, which is why I love them so much. Anyway, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.